We're at the Gardening Corner at Pinehurst, and I'm Vicki, and today we're going to talk about lawn insects. It's getting to be that time of year for putting on controls of that. In southeast Idaho, we have 3 lawn insects that really cause some damage. One of them is a white grub, the other one is a billbug, and the other one is a sod webworm. And they all act a little bit different, so we'll talk about each one of those. First, we'll talk about the grub. The grub is the larvae of a June bug. So if you've got June bugs buzzing you at night at your house, you pretty much can assume you have some white grubs. And what they do is they're down in the ground, they overwinter deep in the soil, and as the soil warms up, they come up. And as they come up, they just chew the roots of your grass off. That's why you can pull it up and pretty much the roots are gone because they've eaten them off. They're easy, of the insects, they're the easiest one to control. And we have a great product. This is the Grub Free Zone. And this, you put it on between May 15th and June 15th. And that gives you season-long control for your white grubs. Easy to use, spread, you just put it on with the spreader. It's a granular product, and then you water it in. If you miss it and don't get it on by June 15th, you can still use it. You're just missing the taking advantage of the long season control. But it'll still work if you don't discover you have them until later. The second bug we have is called a billbug. It's a little black, hard-shelled bug, not very long, not very big, and it's got the grub to it is a white grub also, but it's not nearly as big as the June bugs or the white grub. And the trick about those, or what you need to pay attention to, is they'll have 2 life cycles. So you might have to treat 2 times for those. Once would be in June, and the other treatment would be in August, because you don't want to miss that. And they can cause some havoc in your yard, and they eat the grass, the roots off the grass also. And where I see those the most is in your yard. They might be around the exterior, like along a sidewalk where it's real warm, or along a pavement. The place where it's really warm is where that shows up first, and it'll just be dead grass around there. And you think, gosh, I didn't get that watered very good. But it wasn't that it wasn't watered, it was that the roots are gone and the plant can't take up water. The same happens with the grubs, the white grubs, and how you see that damage is, it's more in the middle of the lawn. And at first your lawn looks light and it looks like it needs a drink, and you think, gosh, and so you give it more water and more water. You think it's hot, it needs more water. But there again, the roots are gone, so it can't take up the water. So that's how you see those 2. The bill bugs, if you let them go, if you have a bad infestation in your yard, they'll really do a lot of damage. So this product is what we use on both those, the billbug and the white grub, is the Grub Free Zone. The next bug we've got is a sod webworm, and you might not even realize you have that. And where you see it later in the spring, the summer, when you're walking along or maybe mowing the lawn, you see a little white moth fly up. There might be maybe 1/4 to 1/2 inch big, and they just stay along the ground, and then pretty soon they just disappear. And that's the adult of a sod webworm, and it's just flying along the ground, and it's laying eggs as it flies. So we want to take care of that. The sod webworm, when you first get it, your lawn looks kind of molted and mottled, and just a discolored, and it's just because it isn't getting any nutrient. It just doesn't look good. And it's harder to tell because if you pull it up, it's still got roots on it, and you'll usually never see the worm, because the worm is inside the stalk of grass, and it comes out at night and it chews it off. But it's quite hard to detect. Sometimes if you get up in the morning and you look out and your front yard is just covered with starlings and you're going, what the heck is going on? Birds are pretty good at detecting sod webworm, and they can get those worms out of there. But you can't always count on them to control it. So the thing that this grub-free zone, or your grub controls, will not control the sod webworm, because it's above the ground. It's between the roots and the top. The products you can use to do that are Turf Ranger and Triazicide. They're both a granular that you put on. This is Triazicide in a liquid form that you hook to your hose and just go out there and spray. Both of these will kill the moth as well as the worm. So those are good products to use. We have a new product this year. I think this is its second year. It's called Bug Blaster Plus, and it's above and below. And this product is our only product that will control both the grubs, the bill bugs, and the sod webworm. So this is a great new thing to use. And probably you have the same bug year after year because they keep coming back. So you have to control them. And when you do, you might see a big patch that needs to be controlled, but instead of just doing that patch, do your whole yard, because they're probably in your whole yard. It's just showing up the damage so bad where it's hot out in the sun, the places not under the trees, but out where it's hot. But treat your whole yard. We also have a liquid spray that you can use to control the grubs and bill bugs, and it will work. Personally, I would recommend, I think the granular controls work better in the soil because they last longer. It gets clear down into the soil before it starts to release. So I think that's a better thing to do. And we had a lot of people coming in this spring that their lawns didn't come out good, they didn't look good, there was something wrong, and they thought they had a disease. And what they had was sod webworm, and they had it last year, but they never realized what was going on. But it really showed up this spring when their yards just didn't come out. So it's important to treat it, and it's pretty easy to do. We have spreaders that we loan you if you need a spreader, but it's a good thing to keep them under control because they don't go away. They just keep coming back. Also, if you've got any grub damage and you're on one of our fertilizer programs, or if you don't, it's a good idea to give it, after you've treated it for the insects, then go ahead and give it an application of fertilizer to help it get right back. Grass is pretty miraculous. It will come back as long as it has a chance. As long as you get rid of the bugs and give it a little food, it'll pop right back. So if you have any questions about your lawns, be sure and stop in and talk to us. We're here to help you, and it's really easy to have a nice yard, and you've worked hard for it, so don't let these bugs take it away from you. But just come in and see us at Pinehurst.